bloopers with Marcus.
Hi there. This is Marcus. This is another episode of Family Man Racing, and this video is brought to you by Hardinsburg, Kentucky.
Saturday night's program, they call it, and it's a heads up deal that is foot brake only and no other rules as far as I know. So there could be some crazy stuff like, that behind me there, not sure, could be some just street cars. Just did a pass with my car, and it ended up doing pretty good. First time I ever tried foot braking at 130, 860 foot, and no spinning. Boost came up pretty good. Did 20 pounds of boost and ran a 5.8 121. So definitely some more power to throw in it, and that's what we're gonna try next. But it's gonna start pretty soon, so stay tuned. It's not great. Yeah, torched the head big time. Torched the block as well. Both the head and block, two different spots. So have it all torn apart. Head torched. Nasty. And then you can see here too. Only thing I can think of is last weekend or whatever, I sprayed 150 shot on top of 31 pounds of boost trying to catch up, and this converter's pretty tight, and so they hung it there from 6,000 to 6,500 RPM. A lot of cylinder pressure, a lot of torque, and ever since then it seemed a little iffy. But it wasn't pushing any water. It just had a little miss at idle at times, and it finally decided to let me not keep running it anymore. So definitely gonna tone that down. Also need a looser converter, so it's just too tight to hang it there at 6,000, 6,300 basically for high gear. So, well, back to it. In an engine bay when it's all assembled. Unfortunately, both sides were damaged. So we cut through here, cut all of this out when the gasket blew or head lifted or whatever happened, and melted through here some too. That's a bit lower. I didn't look over it perfectly, but that's from last year. Ate a spark plug. But yeah, this is gonna need welded up and resurfaced. This will need welded up. Hopefully it can be welded up, resurfaced. I imagine it can. And then what I showed last time, same deal. That's low through here too. Chewed up down here. Wild. So I'm not sure if it's significant or not, but this side and that side, no idea. But going to the owner of the machine shop yeah, he's gonna meet me halfway tomorrow night after work because he knows I'm in a time crunch, and gonna work their butts off to get it all fixed and back together. So Mike's the owner, and then I deal with Don also from CAC Performance. So yeah, and then Mike's the owner of the machine shop that CAC Performance uses. So it's pretty awesome. Those guys are gonna scramble, try to get this thing fixed and back together so I can scramble, put it back together, because it's less than 3 weeks. I have to have my 2 boys loaded up and the car, trailer, everything, and driving 1,000 miles to Bandimere in Denver, Colorado. So we will keep working and check in later.
Let's look at that clip one more time where my dad blows up his engine. That concludes this episode of Family Man Racing. Stay tuned for next time where we scramble to get the engine back in for race week. Let's look at that clip one more time where my dad blows up his engine. That concludes this episode of Family Man. That concludes this episode of Family Man Racing. Stay tuned next time where we scramble to get ready for going back in for race week. And next time where we scramble to get ready for That concludes this episode of Family Man Racing. Stay tuned for next time where we scramble to go back